What up, Carla? It's Don Lins from ICR, also known as Depression, also known as Alert, Spaceman, Test, whatever you want to call me. But something came across to me tonight, and for some reason I thought I had told you this before, but maybe you weren't understanding or listening. And this is kind of a secret between me and you. I don't think I've shared this story with anyone else except maybe Mike. Okay. But something that I definitely want to make clear to you. That was going on. This was at least a few years before Pure killed himself. When that incident happened, of course, you remember all the pouring out of the 40 ounces and Pure's my dog, man. Okay, no problem with that. I'm not dissing anyone like that. Okay. I even had people come up to me and say, we thought you'd kill yourself. I don't know why Pure would kill himself. You know, Pure was the cool guy. You were the guy into depression, on and on and on. Well, right there, we're tapping into something that no one really knows about. One of the reasons a dork like me got tapped in to go into depression was because Pure was really into my shed. At the first, I thought it was because of my stickers. And it was right into the final days before they got kicked out of Yolanda. And this is a secret, because I was told never to tell anybody, but I'm telling you now, because it's that time of life. Pure and me would have very, very deep talks, where he would reveal some things to me in his bedroom when no one else was around. And just to let you know, I think you did know this, Pure was a very deep, emotional guy. He was a very caring guy. Like, I remember Shawnee, a girlfriend of ours. This guy Al was hitting her, and he called me up once, and he's like, hey, can you go handle this? And I'm not that kind of guy who does that. And he goes, trust me, I think you're the guy for this job. So he seemed to know, because I always have this connection with females, that I was the guy for that. We had lots of incidents like that. Remember Shannon Garst? Okay, I thought when Shannon Garst even came to say hi to me, Mike or Carlos were going to kill me. And then Shannon was going to move in with me? No way. Never going to happen. All these guys try to get on everyone else's pussy, blah, blah, blah. And Carlos pulled me aside and actually said, hey, I think you're one of the most genuine guys I've met. And I want her to live with you because I trust you with her. And so I started getting a picture of what was going on here because I've had kind of things said that to me before. But Carlos had really opened up to me. And I don't want you to get any bad impressions about any other people or anything like that. But basically, and this is years before he actually killed himself, so I don't think it has anything to do with it. I don't. But I'll tell you this much. It doesn't stun me that he has that side to him just because he was emotional. He didn't think anyone loved him for who he was as a person. He realized that the only reason Casey, Eddie, and all of them hung out with him was because they know they were pussies and Carlos would pistol whip a motherfucker. At least that was his impression, and I thought he was right. And that's why he would talk to me. He said, you've always been genuine with me, because I had some incidents where he got mad. He's like, why didn't you call me? I would have fucked that guy up, dude. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about it, this and that. Now, anytime anyone else has a problem with so much as the mailman, they called Carlos. And Carlos had gotten into some trouble at one point, and he was worried they were going to follow him down. And he said, Don, can I use your home address at your house to send my driver's license? Can I claim that as your home address? I said, yeah, no problem, man, no problem. And so that's where it's funny. No one really knows how close on that level me and Carlos were. On the outside, it was, hey, what up, Punchy? And he punched me in the arm and hang out with all the thugs. But behind the scenes, I just wanted you to know, he didn't think a lot of those guys were very honest or real. He really did not like the fact that they took advantage of his whatever anger you want to call it, that he was the money collector, that they never treated him right, that it was always, let's go get Pure so in case we get into a fight, he'll back us up. And that's what he told me. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with him killing himself, but I'll tell you this much. It shocked me that he was that deep. He was an emotional, deep thinker. He was a smart guy. And he thought people thought that he was just some dumb Mexican guy who's out there to do crimes and probably will go to jail for us, like other ICR guys do, because they're cool like that. But I just wanted you to know he had a very, very, very deep side. I'm sure you know that. But he had told me that a couple years after or before the suicide incident. But he never mentioned in the suicide letter, etc., etc. It may have had nothing to do with it. But that's why it annoys me sometimes when I see those guys, not you or anyone like that, certain people, especially Casey, for something Casey said to me that angered me a little bit. Because he didn't know that me and Carlos were talking like that. Casey basically tries to claim Carlos as his property, like, you know, you know kind of what I'm talking about. I didn't like that, and I definitely vibe that Pierre doesn't like that. But he said, don't say anything to anyone. I never want you to post anything or get mad online or anything like that. But the time has come to at least tell you that, if I haven't told you already. Said Carlos had a very deep side, and a lot of those guys that, you know, were all about pure rest in peace. Yeah, he's the man. Are frauds. Are frauds. You know, Pure had a lot of friends, and he loved a lot of the friends. 90% of the people were cool, but the main ones that I mentioned, and you know what I'm saying, you know, the 7th letter types, he did not like them at all because they would use him for protection, and they never gave him respect as an individual. And so there, I just ratted him out. And I'm gonna get shot. Love you, Carla. I just wanted you to know that. Bye.